Organizations struggle with data when it doesn't show up, when decisions need to be made. Not because the data doesn't exist, but because the business doesn't own it, and the experience breaks down at the exact moment it matters most. This is the reality playing out inside organizations every day. Dashboards exist. Platforms are paid for. AI is on the roadmap. Yet confidence is missing. Decisions are delayed, and trust quietly erodes.
Over the last decade, data became something we built instead of something we used. Success was measured in pipelines, platforms, and architecture, not in outcomes. Data drifted away from the people who rely on it to run the business. And when data stopped feeling usable, the business stopped waiting for it.
From a customer success perspective, this frustration is very real. People aren't asking for more dashboards, they're asking why they still don't feel confident making decisions, even though the data is there. And most of the time, it comes down to ownership and experience, not technology.
One of the most important points to remember is that data engineers didn't fail. They were simply asked to solve the wrong problem. Engineers built incredible plumbing, pipelines, warehouses, transformations, because that's what the industry rewarded. But plumbing alone doesn't deliver clarity. It delivers movement.
At scale, the industry industrialized data. More tools, more layers, more processes. What we gained in power, we lost in proximity. Data moved further away from the business, hidden behind queues, tickets, and translation. The business didn't lose access. It lost understanding.
This is where trust starts to break. When answers take weeks, when definitions change depending on who you ask, when the business no longer feels like the owner of its own truth, people stop asking questions, not because they don't care, but because it feels too hard.
Let's reframe this. Data isn't just something you store or query. It is something people experience. But when that experience is fragmented, confusing, or delayed, value disappears, even if the data is technically correct. Access does not equal usability, and usability determines trust.
The rebirth of data isn't about adding more layers. It's about removing the ones that don't serve the business. Simplification doesn't reduce capability. It restores focus. When data flows naturally into how people work, it becomes useful again.
This is where AI enters the conversation, not as a miracle cure, but as a multiplier. AI doesn't fix broken data foundations. It accelerates whatever already exists. If ownership is unclear, AI amplifies confusion. If trust is missing, AI amplifies risk. But when foundations are solid, AI becomes transformative.
This is something we see constantly. Leaders want AI, but they're hesitant because they don't fully trust the data underneath it. Without business ownership, AI feels risky instead of empowering, and no organization wants to scale uncertainty.
This is where Lattice plays a very intentional role, quietly, not by replacing existing systems, not by forcing a new way of working, but by enabling the business to own data meaningfully while allowing engineers to confidently hand it over. Governance doesn't sit on the sidelines. It's activated, embedded into how data products are created, shared, and trusted. Leaders gain confidence that AI is no longer experimental, but grounded in governed, business-owned data.
When this works, everything changes. The business feels in control, engineers aren't gatekeepers anymore, leaders see AI as achievable, not theoretical, and data finally shows up when decisions need to be made.
The rebirth of data isn't a trend. It's a return to purpose. Data exists to support decisions. Ownership belongs with the business. Experience determines value. AI multiplies what we get right and what we get wrong. Simplification is not a compromise. It's maturity. When data becomes invisible, decisions become confident. And that's when transformation finally sticks.
Data reclaimed. Join the data conversation. Lattice.com